The battle of the bronze medal is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. South Korea, Canada. Coming up next, hello everyone, welcome back to the Taiko World Cup 2019 edition. I'm Dolan, and today I will be joined by Incandescence on commentary.
Hello, I'm very frantic right now. I just got home from a plane flight. Yes, that's the thing. Yes.
From a plane flight.
I'm very frantic right now.
He's got a lot going on. He's trying to get his new video converter working. But anyway, we've got Canada against South Korea. These two teams have already won one match this weekend apiece to clinch their spot in the top four. But now we got to cut one of them out. We got to cut them down to size. Only three can stand on the podium. One of them will have to go home in fourth place. Canada and South Korea. You know, they both had really impressive matches. Canada coming off of a 7-3 win over the United States. South Korea coming off of a 7-1 win over Hong Kong. So both these teams coming into this match with a lot of momentum and feeling pretty good. So we should be set for an epic match.
I think that this is a matchup no one really expected to happen. I'm sure some people expected it, but I'm surprised to not see the United States here. And Canada really they put their whole minds in it. They put their energy and everything into it, and here they are. And this is going to be an exciting match. Canada performed stellar against the United States, and I think they're going to put up a good fight against Korea.
Yeah, they definitely performed well above expectations in the U.S. match, and they've earned their spot here. Should be an absolute banger between these two countries. And this is a rematch of the quarterfinals, if you recall. Canada were sent to the losers bracket by South Korea, 6-2 in the quarterfinals. So Canada looking for some revenge. And South Korea are looking for their first ever Taiko World Cup top 3 finish. So a big match for both countries coming into this. You see Rachel and Janitor. Boy, Janitor really stepped up. The thing about Canada that was so impressive in their match against the US is it wasn't just Janitor stepping up. You had Fudgy King just absolutely killing it, along with Vlad. Vlad stepped up too and exceeded expectations in all areas, and the US just really weren't ready for it. But we see Rachel going with this epic flashlight mod here for this warm-up.
That's his signature move on these warm-ups. Always easy flashlight or just flashlight.
And Peaceful says, I can do mods too. We'll throw on a hit for Korea.
Now, I do want to actually emphasize what you said earlier. I do think that part of why Canada did so well against the United States is that every player came prepared. You know, they all swapped out. I heard you make a comment about that during the match. They were constantly swapping out. Every player had a niche on the Canadian team in that match, and that was something that the United States didn't do. They stuck with yeah and awoo for so long. I think the fact that the Canadian team is so well-rounded, each player has their own niche in the team, is really going to be something that can compete with South Korea.
Yeah, and that was really crazy because I thought the US were going to use more of their roster as well. We saw Ney only play one map in that match, and as you said, Yan and Wu played a lot of that match, and a lot of these maps in the pool are very, very physically exhausting. So fatigue could have potentially set in on the US, but Janitor was able to be the absolute juggernaut, played all but one map, I believe, in that match against the US.
Janitor is a god.
Yeah. But the subs for Canada, the bench was ready. They were prepared. And so Canada never had to struggle with the second man. It wasn't just Janitor pulling the work, and actually a couple times it was Fudgy and Vlad really stealing the show, putting up amazing scores. So I think the Koreans, and both the Koreans and the Canadians, they've gotten to see how each team has played on this pool. So I think we're going to be seeing a bit more of like a mentally challenging battle here between these guys. They're going to they definitely know what maps each team is strong on in this pool. So that may affect our bans, the pick order. But I think one thing that definitely the Koreans are taking note of is that not only is Janitor playing good, so is Fudgy King, so is Vlad. Rachel didn't get a lot of play time, but played pretty decent in the maps he played. So they're ready to beat. They got to beat this full Canadian roster if they want their first ever top 3.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a match for the ages. South Korea, I know they're going to try their hardest. They've never come this close before. Well, actually, they have, but it's really going to be one heck of a battle between these two countries. I'm really excited.
Yeah, and Canada are looking for their 3rd ever appearance in the top 3. They have 2 bronze medals in the Taiko World Cup, looking to add a 3rd to that and maybe even go a little farther. And that's something, too, that we have to kind of talk about is there's 2 other teams still left in the tournament. In the winner's bracket, we've got Japan and Taiwan. And although you may think, they're always there, we've kind of seen some differences this year between those 2 teams and how they normally play. We saw Japan in the round of 16. They dropped maps to France. And it's a newer Japanese roster, not the same Japanese roster we're used to. Still a great Japanese team, still number 1 ranked in the world. But a lot of players that have not been in a Taiko World Cup before, have not been in this situation. And we saw Taiwan struggle against the US, winning only 7-5 over the United States. So both teams looking a little weaker maybe than you would normally put them at.
Yeah, definitely. To reference the France thing, I don't think anyone expected France to take points off of a monster like Japan. And that was an amazing thing to see. But, Japan has come back. They've proven that they're still the monster that they've been for the past years. And I think Taiwan and Japan are really going to have one heck of a showdown.
Yeah, we've got 2 great matches coming for you this weekend. So we're going to have Canada and South Korea now. And then tomorrow, later on the weekend, we will have the winner's bracket final, Japan and Taiwan. So you're not going to want to miss any of this action as we conclude the first warm-up here. I mean, there's really just... This match could go any way. I mean, I honestly could see each of these teams potentially blowing the other one out, or I could see this match going to tiebreaker. I think it's almost impossible to accurately predict a scoreline for this match. If you had to pick a scoreline, it's too difficult just seeing how these teams have come into the tournament, how they're playing now on this map pool. And that's going to give them a lot of confidence.
Yeah, I think I can agree. There's no way that anyone's going to be able to predict this match. I think right off the bat, it's fair to say that Canada is I can't speak. I'm still frazzled. Is at a bit of a disadvantage, there we go, against South Korea, seeing as though South Korea has shown up to these matches extremely prepared. They've blown opponents out of the water as they did with Hong Kong. It's fair to say that given their past performance that they will give Canada quite an uphill battle here. But, the same you could have said the same about the United States and their past performances. So it's really going to be just how well can you play the map pool.
Yeah, I think all it's going to matter is right here, right now. I mean, we can speculate about how they've played in past matches and stuff, but I think what's important to look at is how they're playing this weekend. And with the matches that they've both shown, South Korea looking as dominant as ever, still continuing that momentum with the 7-1 win over Hong Kong. But you can't just ignore how good Canada performed against the United States, and I know the Koreans have taken note of that. And this is probably going to be their toughest challenge yet. This is not going to be the same Canadian team that they faced in the quarterfinals. Map pool's not as easy. It's a finals week 1 map pool. It's much harder, more physically demanding. So we're going to have to see how that plays into things here as we get Future Candy as the second warm-up.
This is a good song.
It sounds pretty dope. It's a banger.
Oh, you never heard it before?
No, I actually haven't. I've heard Future Cider.
Wow. I can't believe this, honestly.
Yeah, what's so funny about Canada, too, I think a reason that a lot of people may have put them at a disadvantage against the US is when you look at the semifinals, they struggled so much against Australia and almost lost. They were almost eliminated. They got a lucky miss at the end from Rango and the Australian team that gave them the win at the very end in the tiebreaker by 12K. So they scraped their way into finals week and then all of a sudden just put up a dominant performance against the US. It's kind of really thrown everybody off about Canada. This team that they were struggling against Australia, and now all of a sudden they beat the US 7-3. What do we expect from this team?
All very good points. Wow, this SV is beautiful. I just
Oh my. That's
see, Dolan. You know what you need to do here is hit a cat note. I know it's complicated for you, but
that was some beautiful high quality mapping right there.
I'm glad that you agree.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I'm
Wait.
just gonna enjoy this song.
Rachel's
Oh
playing
my.
Relax. How does one relax in taiko?
You can hit any note on the keyboard. Well, that's a keybind, obviously. So if it's like, see right now it's all cat, so you can just press any keybind you want. It's gonna register as a cat.
So you can just press any of the 4 keys.
Yes, that is
Broken.
exactly right. What do you mean broken? It doesn't count for anything.
Dude, that's broken.
You're broken.
Bro, I'm about to be a broken taiko player. I put on this relax mod.
Oh my god. You can barely play taiko as it is, Dolan.
Listen, I'm a solid rank 27k. What are you talking about?
Ooh, we gotta... No, I can't say that on stream. It's family friendly.
Just you watch. Next year.
Oh, we got a cool guy over here.
I'm gonna win the beginner taiko tournament.
Holy...
Yeah, I'm taking BTT by storm next year.
Dude, I can't wait.
I'm gonna show off my epic DDKK skills.
Ah, it's so disgusting that you play DDK.
The inhale. That inhale, though.
No one should play DDKK. It is
It's really
fake taiko.
simple, all right? It's really simple. This is how you play. This is why you play DDKK, all right? When you look at taiko, you're like, oh, I keep getting the reds and blues confused with my hands. So I'm gonna put one color on the left. I'm gonna put one color on the right, and then you just never forget.
Oh my god.
Easy.
No, it's not easy. Or you can just, you know, be like, oh, this is how a taiko drum works, so this is how I'm going to use the taiko drum.
Yeah, but a real taiko drum, you use sticks, all right?
Oh, you want to get specific about it now.
Yeah, I mean, you don't go up to the taiko drum and start just punching it with 4 fingers. It's not what you do.
Jesus Christ.
See, look at this. You see, this is all left-handed right here, all right? This is easy. I know
No,
because I
it's
see
both
blue.
hands.
I
That's
know
how you
which-
correctly play taiko.
I know exactly what I'm doing. I don't see how you can argue against my sound logic. I mean, it makes sense.
Oh my god. I can
Like,
argue against...
We're not playing on a taiko drum. We're playing on a keyboard.
Wow, you got me,
Now,
Dolan.
you
Holy
give
crap.
me a taiko drum. You give me a USB taiko drum, all right? Then I'll start playing it like a taiko drum.
Unbelievable. Okay, so your excuse is, oh, this isn't actual taiko, so who cares?
It's not a taiko drum.
No, irrelevant. You play the...
Completely irrelevant.
No, you play it how it's supposed to be played, Dolan.
You see.
You don't just modify it like a Lamau.
If you think that way, you can never think outside the box. If you always
Why would you want to think
one way of
outside the
playing.
box? You gotta think inside the box.
You gotta
It's a
be
box
bold,
for a reason.
man. You gotta be bold.
Oh my god. Unbelievable, Dolan. I can't believe this. I'm so disappointed in you.
What do you mean?
My disappointment is immeasurable. My day is
What do
ruined.
you mean? Bro, that's how you play the game.
No.
Listen, you can set up keybinds for any keys you want. You can press them how you want, all right? That's how you play the game. There's nothing illegal about it, all right?
There is something illegal about it. It's called it's not correct.
You see, but that way of thinking isn't correct. Anyway, we're going to the roles now for the greatest segue in the history of commentary. We'll agree to disagree. Listen, I know the flight was a little rough, all right? But we gotta get in here.
It wasn't. I mean, the only thing that sucked about it was the lady next to me felt the need to have the air conditioner on full blast the entire flight.
True, but I mean, hey, I'd rather be cold than hot in an airplane.
Okay, no, I'd rather be warm on an airplane. Because when you get cold on an airplane, you get freaking cold. It's not just like, oh, I'm a little chilly. No, your hands freeze off.
Yeah, but if you get warm because of the people next to you, then it's always warm.
I'm trying to figure out if that's a fair point or not.
I mean, it is. Body heat is a thing. Anyway, Canada rolls a 32. Not in the best of rolls. We'll see if it's good enough. And nope, Korea gonna win it with a 54.
Okay, I'm happy to announce that I have my video adapter working now.
Oh, nice, nice.
So I have double screens now, everyone. I thought that was important to share with all of you.
Bro. You got 2 of them things?
I do, I have 2. Can you believe it?
Yes, because I have 2 of them things.
Wow.
Band connection here. That's the same band they had against the US. So they just really don't like that map. Rip and Wolf.
He really tried hard. I mean, as long as I don't see a chick habit band here, I'll be happy.
Yeah. Oh, let's see what Korea goes for.
If I see a chick habit band, I'm gonna cry on stream. I swear. Okay, good. Someone caught me in the chat Gameland 4 incandescence band for double screening.
They just banned Chick Habit. They banned Chick Habit. Can we all press F for incandescence in the chat, please?
I'm so sad. Oh my goodness.
They banned it. They banned it.
This is my time to retire from Taiko.
I mean, if you gotta go, it's alright. I understand. I can solo cast.
I want to thank everyone during my 4 years of Taiko for their support. I want to thank the then quality assurance team for allowing me to be a BN. And you know, I think it's the end of the road for me.
Hey man, you can always come to catch. We'll welcome you with open arms.
No, we won't, because Chicken Bible just said it's okay. Mazuri Party will never get ranked. Why?
Andrew, what are you doing?
Why are people bullying me? I don't understand.
We're trying to get more people in to catch. All right.
Everyone's bullying me.
So immediately following the Canada-South Korea match, we'll be hosting a funeral for Incandescence's hopes and dreams. You're all invited. It's a very sad day. We'll have
you know who isn't invited? No, I don't know. I was gonna
South
try to
Korea?
throw someone under the bus, but no, I like South Korea.
Even though they banned your map.
They're still good people. I can see past this. If Chicago doesn't get played once this weekend, I will actually cry. Oh my god.
It's all up to Japan and Taiwan now.
This is the first time I've had a map that's under my name. It's not even my map. Under my name in the Taiko World Cup. If it doesn't get played, I'm going to be so sad.
Oh. A moment of silence for him. But we're going to get started with some double time, actually.
Le Grand Medley de Shin Dehai. Double time.
Never do that ever again. Yes,
sorry.
That map is what we were playing.
Hey, it's like Le Fruit Defendu. I don't know how to speak French. I'm sorry.
Can I get a new caster partner here? I think this one's broken. I think the shock of having his map banned has broken him mentally.
I can't believe you said that, Nolan. I'm so sad now.
It's okay, man. Look what you've done, South Korea. You've made him actually sad.
That's what you did. What do you mean?
What are you talking about? I would never. Incandescence is the greatest taiko mapper, alright?
That's a hard fact. No, I'm just kidding.
Alright, talk about a rebound.
I mean, I'm okay. I make generic maps. There's no more than that.
Well, alright, so for double time, this actually was not played in Canada, United States. So Canada not played this weekend in match. So we're gonna see how they fare on this.
Oh, the hashtag blame Dolan is going on in chat now.
Hey, this just means I'm ascending to the likes of Juan Crystal. Juan, are you proud of me? I made it.
Oh yeah, blame Juan. Oh yeah.
I did it, Juan. I did it, Juan.
Some can say that you did it once.
All right,
I'm
can we start
so
the match,
proud
please?
of that.
Tiger Eyes, let's start the match. MP start 10. Let's go. Let's get it going. Come on.
So while the match is trying to get started, Dolan, you want to hear some more puns?
I got one for you. It's called Tiger Eyes. Start. Yes, we're ready. Tiger Eyes, start it, please. Please.
That's not a pun. You
Please.
lied to me.
Please. Tiger. Do it. Do it, Tiger.
Tiger, don't start it. Don't
Tiger.
give him what he wants.
There we go. Yes, okay. Sorry. You're going to have to hold the punch for later, all right?
Oh,
We got a match. All right, but getting into this match, all seriousness. South Korea picking a map that Canada have not played, that they did not play against the US. It wasn't banned in that match either. And ooh, Vlad actually missing the start of that. Vlad just forgetting to hit keys. We saw Awu do that also in the Canada-US match. It's really interesting. But Canada are going to flip it. Do the accuracies from Konpaku and Peaceful. Vlad trying to recover. It's very even right now.
I accidentally closed my window. Oops. Hold on.
Accuracies are all in the 97s at the moment. Oh, but Fudgy and Vlad are going to miss.
On Canada's side. Holy.
Yep, and here comes Korea.
No one really finding actually high accuracy. Everyone's struggling a little bit here. No one in the 90. Oh, never mind. We have one person in the 97 percentile now. Everyone else is struggling with the accuracy.
And Vlad missing again. Korea coming prepared here. A calculated pick. This definitely could have been a map that they practiced in between their matches. Seeing that Canada didn't play this. But also the Koreans are just that good.
Yeah, South Korea is blowing this map away. Their accuracy may not be the best, but they both have full combos. Canada is struggling to maintain combos.
Yeah, Canada struggling pretty mightily here after another double miss. Korea growing that lead. It's at about 70,000 right now as we're at the halfway mark. Peaceful will find a miss, but Vlad will trade it. So not much is going to change there. And Fudgy with yet another drop. Both Canadian players now below 96%. If Peaceful will miss again, it's only
Konpaku
Konpaku
blowing the map away.
Yeah.
We're only halfway through the map though.
However, Konpaku's accuracy is pretty low. If he does find a miss, it could be devastating if he's unable to hold back when he misses. If he misses.
Vlad just found 2 misses there.
Oh, he's
Or
missing
a double
lot.
miss on Canada. Fudgy King finding one as well.
Peaceful
gonna join them.
Konpaku coming through into the final third with the FC.
You have about 1/3 of the map left. Vlad underneath 95% accuracy, not even struggling with between the borderline of a B and an A there.
Oh, and Konpaku will give it up, but not before Canada finds another double miss. Konpaku is able to maintain some of his act, but that miss and Peaceful up into the 96s now. And Canada just
The
struggling.
score gap at this point is major. We're looking at over 100 to 150,000 points, I think, at this point, unless one of the South Korean players just have a huge tank. I think this is already South Korea's point.
Yeah, and again, a very calculated first pick from South Korea. They noticed that Canada didn't play this. They were shying away from double time, and they were actually kind of weak on double time in general. The last map they played against the United States, the other double time, the short one, was very much a coin flip, which Canada won. So, South Korea attacking this weakness, but they did leave Hard Rock open. And South Korea will take the opening point 1-0. That's 150,000 points.
Now, it is very important. This point, I feel, is not the most important, but it will set the stage for what we're going to deal with because the pressure's on Canada to make sure that they don't give South Korea an early break point. And does Canada have one of these maps in their bag? Do they have it, and are they sure of it? If South Korea gets a break point this early in the match, that could really set the stage for how big of a battle Canada has here.
Yeah, definitely. And we're going to have to wait and see what Canada choose to go with. So, once again, here's the map pool. Canada banning Connection from Hidden, and South Korea will ban Chick Habit from Nomad, and then they pick Shindahai from Double Time and score the first point. So, Canada, we saw them play well on Villain Virus. We saw them play well on, I think it was Dream Vandalism, if I recall correctly. I think they also played well. I think they played almost all the Nomads, except for Chick Habit, in the US-Canada match. But Canada did fairly well.
Thank you for reminding me, Dolan. Thank you.
Well, hey, look, it's what happened, all right? They did score a win on the free mod pick retractable. So I think it's really hard to decide where Canada's going to go. But they are going for Hard Rock.
Plus.
Yeah, and I was about to mention this, but this was the map that the US banned against Canada. South Korea leave it open.
The fact that this is Canada's first pick makes it think that was a well-calculated ban on the United States' part.
Yeah, definitely the US were afraid of it. South Korea welcoming the Hard Rock Challenge. And Canada will make the call, and we'll find out whether or not the Koreans are bluffing here. So, it's going to be Rachel and Vladdy in for Canada. Peaceful and R18 for South Korea.
Now you can just hear the song. This is cardboard box maps always pose one heck of a challenge.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it will.
Dolan can FC this map though, clearly.
100% with Relax. Easy. Easy. And so here's the start command.
Are you ready for this, Dolan? I don't think you're ready, personally.
I was born ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Second point of the match.
Are we going to do the exhale now? Like after everything?
I think the exhale is very important, to be honest.
It stresses the importance. Well, all right. As we get into it. So Rachel coming in for Canada and R18 coming in for Korea.
Yeah, right off the bat, R18, that sub is not going to seem very smart. Peaceful finding some misses.
Ooh, and Korea getting torn apart here at the opening 8th of this map.
R18 dropping underneath 90% for a second there. He's recovered. Canada holding very strong.
But R18 is able to
has found his footing.
Yeah, R18 was able to make it through those streams. Pretty okay. But Canada's still with a very commanding lead.
All the players holding phenomenal
Vlad.
accuracy. Vlad finding misses.
He did
Gonna
tank
drop
a
down to
decent
98.
chunk. Yeah, down to the 98.3. It's Rachel with a 99.1 in the FC for Canada. The only FC remaining.
This
Canada-
map is so short. It's going to be really hard for Canada to lose their advantage given how low R18's accuracy is.
Yeah. Oh, Vlad with a miss, but not a massive tank in accuracy. And a double miss for Korea, and that may seal it right there. As you see the score instantly shoot up to the left as R18 struggles.
R18 very low accuracy, 91% of the map, or not on the map, 91% accuracy. We have 1/4 of the map to go. Everyone finding misses except for R18.
But down to 95. Rachel with another miss, and Vladdy. I don't know if there's enough time. I don't think there is.
Everyone's accuracy has dropped significantly. Vlad and Peaceful matching their accuracy almost. Rachel down at 95. R18 still all the way down at 92.
Score is narrowing. Oh my goodness, it's actually narrowing, but there's not enough time, and Canada are going to hold on and take their opening point.
The pressure was on them to respond, and they did.
Yeah, an excellent job for Canada performing on that Hard Rock pick, and now Korea maybe going to think twice about Hard Rock. And again, this pool is so hard to pick from.
Yeah, this pool is all over the place. You know, I think personally the best pool of the map is Chick Habit, but you know.
You mean the best map of the pool?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we won't get to see it this match.
Fingers crossed for the moment.
I'm really interested to see how free mod is going to play out here. They go there.
Free mod is... I was thinking that at the beginning of this match. How interesting would a free mod play be between these two teams? As you can see, Canada, though everyone struggled with that map, Canada has a very, very capable Hard Rock team. South Korea has proven themselves to be very good at Hidden. They've also proven themselves to be good at Hard Rock when the time calls for it. So I think free mod is really going to be up in the air. I personally don't think we're going to see a lot of free mod unless the teams absolutely have to do it, because those are just so unpredictable.
Yeah, and if there is a free mod that the Koreans will go to, I think we're going to see retractable, because that is one that Canada played and lost against the United States earlier today. But again, there's still a lot of stuff they can go for in that no mod pool. Even in the mod brackets remaining, they could pick the other double time here. Again, I think picks are taking a while this week because of just how diverse and spread out this pool is.
The stakes are high. The pools are, you know, the pools are. I don't have an adjective for it.
Stakes are high. The pool is wide.
Ah, nice rhyme.
There you go.
It wasn't a great rhyme because, you know, the consonants weren't the same.
Listen. We don't have to get technical about it. We don't have to get technical about it, all right?
Okay,
Ooh,
fine.
minefield.
Also, I would like to point out that the no-mod pool is almost entirely American. 4 of the 6 no-mod maps are under American users.
Yeah, and this map specifically was the first map played in the Canada-US match and is one that the Americans won over Canada, so the Koreans picking a map that the Canadians struggled on earlier today. Again, that's what we're going to see, these very calculated picks.
Yeah, these teams have a lot of information. Canada was able to see South Korea perform against Hong Kong. South Korea was able to see Canada perform against the United States. The question is, did Canada put some time aside to rock South Korea off their expectations in practice maps like this?
Yeah, as we get into it. And for reference, the one map Korea dropped to Hong Kong was Pine Nut in the free mod. So Canada have that pick potentially in their back pocket. But here we go. And Canada eking out the slight accuracy advantage, but it's flickering now. Anyone's game.
Now R18 and Janet are tied with accuracy.
And this map is just absolutely insane. Here we go. It's picking up. Korea eking out the slight advantage.
No one holding a double S in the lobby anymore. Jan holding extremely high act. Vlad finding numerous 100s there, dropping to 97. So is Jan.
Yeah, Korea holding the higher accuracy. No misses from anyone, though, except now Vlad does drop.
And look what you've done.
I didn't think. And that's going to really put the pressure on Canada here into the final third. This map does get crazy at the end, though. So Korea not exactly out of the woods yet, but looking good.
They have a very significant lead as Vlad finds another miss. Canadian accuracy is very low. R18 is still holding 99% accuracy. Peaceful at 98.
Yeah, R18 will drop a little bit on accuracy. That's not going to be too bad considering that everyone else did as well. As we come to the final section of the map, as long as there are no note locks and epic catastrophes here, South Korea are going to be looking pretty
Vlad's
good.
going to find a miss. That's not going to help out. Vlad dropping to 90%, 89%, 88.
He's for the miss.
He's
Janet
dropping
the miss.
accuracy.
And R18 gets the FC.
Vlad is going to fail the map.
Big win for South Korea. R18 with a FC of 97.09 AC.
South Korea blowing this map out of the water. R18 a phenomenal score. Vlad not able to pass. Very calculated pick, as you would say, on South Korea's side. Again, the pressure returns to Canada to answer that point.
Yeah, and again, the only pick that South Korea dropped to Hong Kong was Pine Nut down there in the free mod bracket.
I think we have a good chance of seeing Hard Rock again. It seems to be Canada's their strength. If not Hard Rock, I'm definitely going to think we're going to go back to No Mod. The question is where, because you know they didn't perform great on Akumu. They did good because Akumu is one heck of a map. But Canada and the United States both struggle with that map. Megalara, again, a map that both teams struggle with. So it's going to be hard to see where Canada goes. There's not complete 100% safe picks, even plus. That was very up in the air for a second. So it really goes to show how close this match is, how quickly things can change from one team to the other.
Yeah, definitely. It's going back and forth. The seesaw battle very much here. But it is important, as we said, for Canada to stay with Korea as much as they can and vice versa. You don't want to give up any early break points. And Canada's still taking their time here. And again, that other double time pick is such a coin flip.
The question is, do they want to deal with nifty slider velocity, or do they want to go no mod? Because I think those are Canada's sweet spots. Free mod, like I said, is really, that's going to be one heck of a risk. I mean, it could go your favor. You could take the risk and go double mod, but at this level, if you don't have it with the two mods, then you're taking a huge risk and it could backfire immediately.
Akuma is the pick from Canada. Now, when we look back at how South Korea performed on this, they performed decent on this. It was Peaceful and R18, that lineup with a 98.74 for Peaceful and a 98.24 for R18. 2 miss for Peaceful, 2 miss for, or 5 miss for R18. So not terrible, but beatable.
Akumu has shown over the weekend to give every team a fair bit of trouble. It is definitely one weird map. It looks like we're not going to see Fudgy King on Canada, though I could be speaking too early. And given his performance against United States and Canada, it's possible that the other Canadian players took charge on this one.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to be seeing Janitor and Vlad for Canada, and for South Korea, it's the same roster they put out against Hong Kong, Peaceful, and R18. Again, the very technical map here.
This is also good. This is also a good song though.
Oh yeah, starts off relatively tame here, but gets pretty real pretty quick. Peaceful with an early drop there. Not gonna
early drop, big accuracy dip too. We're very early in the map, but that is quite a low accuracy to start with.
Yeah, but he's gonna recover that very quickly.
Both Canadian players holding double S. South Korea has no double S on their side.
Yeah, so Canada with a slight advantage as we head into the map, and Vlad will still hold on to the double S. Janitor just find a couple hundreds there.
As Gohiki went over earlier today, this map basically repeats twice. After the first time, if you have it, you got it. It's done.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing twice.
It's very easy to mess it up, too. These are not easy patterns whatsoever. Peaceful finding misses, so does R18.
Yeah, double miss there for Korea is going to give Canada a slight edge here.
Vlad holding amazingly strong on these. 99% accuracy.
That's insane stuff from him. And again, as we just said, this map repeats itself twice, so Vlad is performing this strong at the beginning. Probably going to be consistent to the end, and Janitor will find the first miss for Canada. Peaceful will trade
going to find one as well.
Yeah, but they both have basically the same act. Peaceful slightly better. But the difference is between Vlad and R18, about a full % accuracy difference is translated on the scoreboard at the moment. And we're halfway through, and Vlad with a 99, Janitor with a 98.5, 98.5 for Peaceful, and a 98.0 for R18. So Korea's still very much in it.
Now the score gap isn't too big. We still have about a minute of the map to go. But seeing as though Peaceful and R18 found a good bit of misses at the beginning of the section that's about to repeat, the odds are not in Korea's favor.
Oh, double miss from Canada!
As I say that,
Janitor will find a second one as well.
The score gap is very small now.
Yeah, there's a lot of accuracy drop there. Korea trying to flip it. And they will for a brief second here. They're going to get it.
Still have a fourth of the map to go.
Korea looking for an early break point.
The score gap is only widening right now. Janitor's act really bringing Canada down right now.
Still way too close. Any miss could change things. Can the Koreans hold on to this break point?
We're heading into the final section. Peaceful. It's going to be Canada's lead now.
They still got to hold on, though. It's not over. It's that close. Final section. Nobody messed this up.
The score gap is only 4. Very small difference here.
So small, but it looks like Canada by the hair of their chitty chin chins. Take it 2-2.
Canada responding to every point South Korea has earned so far, keeping them in this match. The pressure is on South Korea. The pressure is going back and forth between these teams. They are looking for a break point. Taking this a tiebreaker is probably the last thing that either of these teams want.
Oh, yeah. So Canada dodging a bullet there, getting a lucky break at the end. And now the question is, where will South Korea go?
I think South Korea has many options here. I don't think they're going to go hard rock. But other than self-destruct, I don't think that they have too many limitations. I think they're pretty open. Obviously, I don't know how well they've done behind the scenes, but I think they have a lot more options than Canada does.
We'll wait and see what the pick is. Man. So we wait the pick from Korea, and I think we got it.
Appler's map, which is going to be Dream Vandalism.
So Dream Vandalism. This is one Korea played. Kanpaku came in with a 988k score at 99.8% AC. It was an FC. And Bamgo SN was the other player for Korea with 9 misses, a 98.25 and 911k.
South Korea picking the most legendary South Korean players map, Applers.
This map was also played in Canada-US. This is one that Canada lost. And their scores
Man, you
on
can
this...
just listen to this song. It sounds crazy.
Yeah, and Canada's scores on this were worse than the Korean scores. So once again, a calculated pick by Korea. One that they're favored on. We're going to get a little refresh here. The client lagging behind a little bit. Canada eking out the slight AC advantage. We'll see how long it lasts, though.
No, this
Both
is a
SSs.
very fast map,
Yeah.
and it's decently long. So the factor that comes in here is endurance. How long can you take patterns like this at a BPM of basically 300?
Yeah, keep your eyes on Kampaku Sariel, the one who FC'd this earlier today against Hong Kong. But so far, Canada holding strong here. And Vlad will be the first to fall.
That's going to give the lead to South Korea for now.
Yeah. Important, though, he did not tack Ank, staying at the 99.4.
Who did not tack Ank? I don't know.
Not tack Ank. Not tank Ack. Tack Ank. That is how that is pronounced, ladies and gentlemen.
Kampaku
will
finding
not
misses
FC
this time around.
And that was a big Ack tank.
Gonna go down to 98% where no one else in the lobby is sitting at the moment. Canada taking the lead halfway through the...
And now Canada with the lead off the miss from Kampaku. And look at Fudgy King. Keeping Canada ahead. Vlad is not that far behind with the accuracy as well. And this would be a massive break point for the Canadians. Final quarter of the map. Still not out of the woods just yet.
Kampaku finding another miss. That's going to extend Canada's lead.
Yep. And now Canada looking really strong here. Just have to
Do
bring
not
it
have
home.
much of the map to go. Fudgy King is dominating this map.
What? Oh no!
Oh no,
He did the thing.
Feshy, I'm so sorry.
Still an impressive score from him. Score gap is going to narrow a little bit, but Canada will still win fairly comfortably, about 33k. And they will take a break point.
Fudgy, I'd like to personally
But how about
apologize
Bamgo
to
with
you.
the FC from Korea? Unfortunately, it's not enough.
I feel so bad. I ruined Fudgy King's FC.
The important thing is Canada still gets the point here, a break point, and now they have a chance to capitalize off of it. I feel like we could be seeing potentially villain virus or self-destruct from Canada.
This is an important point in the match. Will Canada continue to extend their lead on South Korea, or will South Korea return the break point? This is going to be very important. Pressure is on. Turn your stoves on the highest setting. This is intense.
Steamy. So, potential picks here I would look out for Canada are Villain Virus, Self-Destruct, and maybe Retractable. Those are 3 maps that they won on against the US, so they do have some confidence on.
Retractable being a free mod, man, I can't reiterate enough how risky free mod is in this map.
I think Villain Virus would be a really good pick because although the Koreans performed okay on it, the Canadians outscored them.
As always, we also have Megalara. Canada struggling with that map a little bit versus the United States. I seriously don't think we're going to see the free mods appear at all until they absolutely need to be played. And that's when everything else is going to be played. I think that, I haven't seen, I think it's Niju. I don't know if that's a J. I think it's a J.
That was played in the US-Canada match. And that's kind of a coin flip.
Like South Korea taking the double time, the first double time point here, and so I would infer that they could also take that one, but you never know.
Yeah, honestly, it's so hard to predict what they're gonna pick on a map pool like this. But if I had to guess, I would say potentially Villain Virus or Self-Destruct. Those two, I think Canada would be more confident on than others. I think be the most likely here. No, they're going for Retractable, as I said, the one that they won on. Canada are going to be the first to dive into free mod.
Oh my god. I feel like this is going to be very, very intense.
So, last match, Retractable. For Canada, it was Janitor and Vlad. Janitor went Hidden Hard Rock. Had a 7 miss, a 1 million score. Vladdy on the Hard Rock performed great with a 98.15 and a 985k score. As for South Korea,
Peaceful is a hidden... God. So
South
the question
Korea
is,
did
can
not-
Peaceful match Jan? Can he?
yeah, South Korea did not play this against Hong Kong.
I think Peaceful might go Hidden Hard Rock. I think Kompaku will just go regular Hidden. This is definitely going to be one heck of a match. Can Janitor replicate the success he found the first time?
And there it is. 3 Hidden Hard Rocks, Kompaku, Peaceful, and Janitor.
That is a very, very risky move on South Korea's
Very
part.
risky. South Korea. Well, they know how well Canada performed. I guess they figure if we want to stand a chance, we have to load up on the mods. So the mod advantage with Korea. Okay. Korea put on their big boy pants.
That's really going to help as Kompaku is having some difficulty with the accuracy, but the score is definitely going to be in his favor.
Yeah, thanks to that mod advantage, it's going to really help Korea here. As long as they can maintain a decent act, not have too much trouble, they should come away with this. But again, Janitor and Vlad were so good on this against the US.
Peaceful's accuracy is dominating, 99%. Kompaku struggling a little bit in 96, 97.
Vlad
Jan
is
also
there.
97%, but Vlad is also there. The problem is, it doesn't match up to Peaceful's Hidden Hard Rock accuracy, which...
Yeah, but look at how close that score is. Any miss from Korea, and it will fly to the left. And vice versa. Canada did it with this same setup against the US, and they're counting on it again. Peaceful with a miss! And that's a second miss, and now his accuracy is down with Janitor. And he's gonna miss again.
It's gonna go even lower to 96%. That's gonna definitely put them behind.
Yeah, but the good news for Korea here is, even though they did find those misses, they do have a mod advantage, so if they can recover, they still have a shot at taking this.
This is a very, very long map. They have a lot of time to get themselves back on their feet, and as you said, they do have the score advantage here.
And that score are not really fluctuating too much. It's going a little up, a little down. But Peaceful dropping again on the slow section. Really not going to help South Korea halfway through.
Canada's about 65,000 points in the lead right now. We're halfway through the map. This slow section really proving something to be kind of difficult for Kompaku's act and for Peaceful to maintain his combo.
Yeah, again. But this map does pick up a little bit in the second half. Canada did not have a single FC on this last time. Janitor had 7 missed total, and Vladdy had 8. Granted, one of them, I believe, was due to a Vladdy note lock. But kind of looking very good right now. The Koreans are trying to keep up. Again, you can already see how that mod advantage for Korea is keeping that score bar from really flying too far out of control here. It's actually closing a little bit.
In order for South Korea to take the lead, they're really going to have to see some misses on Canada's side. But Jan and Vlad are holding very strong right now.
Yeah, as we enter the final quarter of the map, Korea definitely need to see at least one miss from Canada to help that score bar along in its long journey back to the Korean side, if it'll get there.
Kompaku finding numerous 100s in that section.
This is a big gamble from the Koreans. And so far, nothing from the Canadians. Absolutely insane, stellar performances. Peaceful dropping again.
The score bar, I was about to say, has been getting smaller and smaller, but it's not enough time.
Dude, there's just not enough time. And are Canada going to double FC Kompaku with a miss?
At this point, I think it's Canada's point. They're going to extend their lead on South Korea 4-2.
Oh, Vladdy.
Vlad's going to find a miss, though.
Yeah, no double FC here. But Canada's still in control. As long as they can hold on through the ending, they've got it. Vladdy with a miss at the end, but does not matter. Janitor will get it. The FC.
Hidden Hard Rock FC.
And Canada
absolutely up. Beautiful.
Canada up 4-2 on South Korea. And South Korea now have to respond. Of course, then against the Koreans probably knew the Canadians had this pick. They knew this was a map that they didn't play, and they knew this was a map that they both Janner and Vlad performed well on with the same setup, but Janner didn't FC this against the US. And Vlad basically FC'd the full way.
Canada is just... Whew.
Pandemonium. The Koreans say, you want to play free mod. Let's play free mod.
The second raid core of the pool.
And let me tell you just how well the Koreans did on this. They double FC'd it with Hidden Apiece. With a 99.79 act from Peaceful and a 93 or 98.38 act from Kompaku. So they're very confident in this. And Pandemonium, well, it was not played in Canada, United States. So Korea now are going to flip and turn the tables on Canada. Put them in the same situation that Canada just put Korea in.
Now, the stakes are so high. We're either going to see a similar thing as we just saw, many people going hidden hard rock, or we're going to see everyone go only one mod. Unless South Korea has practiced this on the side, and they've been able to add a second mod, I think we're going to see just mellow, double hard rock in Canada, double hidden on South Korea. That's my prediction for this.
Yeah. Given how strong the Koreans played with just hidden for both players against Hong Kong, I don't think there's any reason for them to change it. They both scored over 1 million, both FC'd with decently high AC. So for Canada, it's just, well, how did they practice this? Because it wasn't played against the US. And that's what we're going to have to wait and find out. And here we go, start command coming in. And Canada, 1 hidden, 1 hard rock. So 3 hiddens on the board, 1 hard rock from Vlad. So almost, your prediction was almost right. And here we go.
Battle of the accuracy.
And again, the Koreans did so well on this map earlier today with this exact same setup. But right now, Canada has the lead. Kanpaku Zach struggling a little bit. But Peaceful keeping it up with the 99.8. Vlad at the 98.5, Janitor a 99.0. So still very close. This map isn't too long, by the way.
South Korea's going to take the lead here despite Kanpaku's low accuracy, but it is matching Vlad's accuracy. Peaceful still all the way up there at 99.81%.
So Korea have now a slight combo advantage and a slight AC advantage. And we're over halfway, we're 2/3 of the way. Korea playing very consistent right now, 20k lead for them. Still not out of the woods just yet. Vlad though will find another miss.
That's going to extend South Korea's lead as we head into the final sections. Vlad finding another miss.
And that'll about seal it. I think hard rock just a bit much on this free mod.
Definitely, as Vlad's act falls to 95%, as we head into the final sections, this is Korea's 3rd point.
It will be the Koreans cutting the lead in half. 2,040,302 from Korea. 5 100s from Peaceful. And once again, the Koreans double FC. And by the way, that's much better than how they performed against Hong Kong. It's almost the same result for Peaceful. Almost identical. And Janitor's saying, fair enough, he concedes that point.
So now where do we go from here? Canada's back on the hot seat. Will we see Villain Virus? Will we see Self-Destruct? Or will we see Pine Nut? Because everyone's going to free mod now.
I think Canada need to consider Pine Nut here because Pine Nut's the one map Hong Kong beat Korea on. So I'm sure they're aware of this. So maybe they go Pine Nut, maybe they go Self-Destruct or Villain Virus, I think are viable options for Canada. Megalara could be kind of a toss-up, but still within reason. I just think they're not going to go for the DT or hidden picks remaining. I don't see them going for that, especially given how good the Koreans just played on hidden. Canada want to maintain that lead, of course. So we'll await the pick from Canada.
Every pick is so calculated. They really have to think long and hard. They don't pick the wrong
Pine
thing.
Nut. Coming out from the Canadians. So yep, we're gonna play all of the free mods back to back to back.
Yeah, definitely proving my hypothesis wrong.
Both teams have taken 1 point on free mod, and I think you have to give the slight edge to Canada here. I mean, you could give the slight edge to Canada potentially, but they lost to the US on this pick.
I feel like it's strongly possible that South Korea, knowing that they lost this pick against Hong Kong, did take the time to practice this one a little bit more.
What's funny is, you want to know how close their scores compare to their previous matches?
Tell me, enlighten me.
So Korea, it was Kompaku with a 904k, Peaceful 857k. For Canada, Fudgy 907k, Janitor 849k.
Oh my.
Woo! So it would be South Korea by 5k if they repeated those scores exact. That is how close they played together in their last respective matches. So
The question is really, did South Korea take this time to practice this more? And the same thing can be said for Canada.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it'd be really hard to practice for this, considering the fact that the pool's so wide, you really don't know where the match is going to go, kind of until you're in it. And let's remind everybody at home of what the mod choices were. So Canada went with Fudgy King on no mod, and Janitor on hidden. Korea, Peaceful, hidden hard rock. Kompaku, hard rock. Should this same thing happen, Korea would have a massive mod advantage, but because the scores are so close, that would lead you to believe that Korea struggled a little bit more on the map than Canada did. And maybe that's a reasoning for Canada picking this.
This is really going to be an interesting and important pick. If South Korea is able to take this, they will break the point and they will be in the driver's seat for the point after.
Same setup exactly. For both teams, they're playing it the same way, which means Korea will have a significant mod advantage. DJ Client getting involved here.
My favorite.
DJ Client hitting them drums really quick. So we're going to wait for the client to get itself all caught up. So there were no early misses from what we can tell. So Korea has a 2 mod advantage, which means they're going to be getting a lot more score than Canada. But the question is, will the Koreans be able to FC? The thing is, if both Canadian players FC, it really will put the Koreans in a difficult spot.
Yeah, the map is not too long, so there isn't too much time for South Korea to recover from a miss if one occurs. But the first miss will be on Canada's side.
That's
Janitor
definitely
finding
not
a
what they
miss
wanted.
until that screen.
Oh, but Peaceful will trade it, but the accuracy for Janitor is quite low. Still not out of the woods yet because Fudgy King is performing absolutely beautifully. Can Kompaku hold with the hidden hard rock?
Both South Korean players holding fairly high accuracy, Kompaku at 98, Peaceful coming back to 99, Fudgy all the way up there at 99.75, but he has no mod.
Yeah, and we're just about over 2/3 of the way through, coming up to the final quarter. A double miss, Janitor and Kompaku. That's bigger though. Oh, miss from Peaceful.
Big accuracy takes on Korean side, 97 on both. Fudgy King again blasting through this, but he doesn't have a mod.
Yeah, the mod advantage for Korea is insane. A Janitor will miss, and Korea gonna instantly recover that score that they just lost. And Korea performing much better on this at their second time around. Kompaku though, Peaceful will miss, double miss for Korea. But it doesn't look like it's gonna be enough.
Korea's gonna find their break point.
Fudgy King performs beautifully, but it's a 50K win for South Korea. And that means we're tied at 4.
South Korea's in the driver's seat now. Many places to go. Free mod pool, it completely exhausted.
And now this match just got real interesting. South Korea in the driver's seat now. But when you look at what's left, it's not really that promising. I mean, Korea could probably pick Chroma. I think that's the one pick you could probably look at and say Korea probably feel comfortable in that, given that they have an advantage in hidden. But everything else is kind of eh. Maybe Megalara. But Villain Virus, Self-Destruct. You've got Villain Virus and Self-Destruct that I think are favored towards Canada, I would say. The Megalara and Chroma favored towards Korea. And then the DT pick is kind of just a coin flip.
I will reiterate, seeing though South Korea won the first DT, reasonably, they should win the second one. They do have, and they have shown in the tournaments past, that they are pretty good at double time.
But here's the thing. We look at that, even let's say you give Korea that double time pick as well. So 3 maps that Korea would probably be favored on, 2 maps that Canada are favored on. Look at the score right now. Both teams can pick twice. We could see tiebreak.
Oh my god.
Go down that route. I mean, and when I say that they're favored, I wouldn't say by that much. I would just say if I had to bet on one, I would lean towards that team on each particular map, but it's still within reason relatively a close competition on all maps. And so we're probably going to be spending a lot of time here in between maps waiting for the teams to pick. Probably going to use all 3 minutes that they're allowed.
I have to say, if this goes to tiebreaker, I feel like South Korea has a bit of an edge, seeing as though Power of the Wilderness is quite speed oriented. I think South Korea will go into that and have a bit of an advantage. Now, whether or not they've practiced the tiebreaker is beyond me, but based on that alone, I think it's Korean favored.
They're going with Villain Virus. Interesting. I wouldn't have guessed. I wouldn't. Again, you can't really predict, I guess. And this, I believe both teams played this earlier today. South Korea actually, their scores were slightly better, but only by about 20K. So not a crazy advantage.
Now, the part that has destroyed, at least in Canada versus the United States, the part has given people the most trouble is the very ending. Assuming that Canada plays the exact same, all South Korea has to do is perform better on the ending in Canada. Sounds easy in theory, but the ending is one pain in the butt.
Yeah, definitely. Did you see 100 roll earlier?
No, I didn't. I think I
Yeah,
missed that.
no, Kompaku rolled 100.
Holy pog.
Hope you didn't use your good luck there. Because you might need it for the ending of this song. Kompaku using Janitor's own strat against him, the water. But here we go. So South Korea looking to take their first lead of the match. If they can get this, secure this point, aside from, I guess they had the lead when they were up 1-0. Never mind. But they have not led since then.
If South Korea takes this, we will be on track for a tiebreaker. If Canada picks this, they will be in the driver's seat for their possible match point.
They would also have to break Korea again. But yeah, it would definitely put them at a significant advantage. This is not the time you want to give up a break point. Here come the Slinkies. I like these SVs. I call them Slinkies. Do you get it, Incandescence? You get it?
I'm sorry, who are you?
I am BBKK player. Hello.
So anyways,
Janitor.
Janitor's gonna find, a bit of a
I love
miss
how we
there.
both said anyways at the same time.
That miss will not fare well with Janitor. He's gonna drop underneath 99% for the time being.
Yeah, but he's recovering quite quickly, which is important, obviously. And Korea don't have that big of a lead.
Canada gonna take their lead back as RA10 falls underneath 99% accuracy. This is really currently a battle of the accuracy.
Yeah, but they're not going to extend that lead too much because Korea had that slight combo advantage because Janitor is under 400 and everybody else is above. R18 dropping. So now Canada will extend. Third of the way through.
Vlad
maintaining
dominating this map. 99.72% accuracy.
Vlad doing amazing. Janitor with a 99.2. Kompaku hanging right below 99. And R18 down in the mid 98s. So Canada have the edge halfway through almost. And this is a long map. So Korea is still definitely in this. Into the streams we go. Is anyone gonna get caught out here?
Vlad will get caught up.
Maintains a decent act though, but it's gonna narrow that score gap just a bit. Still 99.
Janitor running a bit of a hundreds, holding on to 99% accuracy by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, Vlad still maintains the best accuracy in the lobby at a 99.4. Koreans trying to keep up, but still both maintaining around the mid 98s. So Canada still hold on. They lead by about 20k, a little under 20k.
Third of the map to go, roughly a minute and a half. And as I said before, the ending is not nice.
Yeah. Oh, Vlad with a miss in the slow section. Doesn't drop accuracy, but that's going to narrow it even further. And again, as you said, as long as Korea can keep it within 20k respectively, if they can outperform Canada on the ending, they have a solid shot at taking this point. So, not even close to being over. And R18 fighting up to get into the 99s in that accuracy department. He's rocking a 98.7.
Both Korean players are building their accuracy right back up. Canadian players holding very well in the 99s, but here we go.
R18 drops. Doesn't drop too much accuracy, but Canada are going to take every point that they can get as we approach the ending. That's just absolutely brutal. Will Canada be able to hold on and take this break point? That's the question. Janitor.
Triple miss on everyone's side except for R18. Only person making it out of that section. Here we go.
The accuracy
oh my
still
goodness.
just barely in favor of Canada into the ending. Argentina's got that combo advantage for Korea.
Janitor finding misses.
Korea to the lead.
Vlad also missing.
Korea
back
to the lead.
Everyone missing here.
Korea holding double miss from Korea. Kapaku struggling again. But the dash kick on Canada's side is too big, and just as you predicted, Korea were able to keep pace with Canada and outperform them on the ending to take the point. They lead it 5-4.
Vlad and Jan finding horrible no locks on the very end, plummeting their misses to 50 and 56. That really put the nail in the coffin for them on that one.
What a performance from Korea. Insane. You called it textbook. Korea able to keep with Canada, just stay right behind them and outdo them on the ending. That's how you get it done in the clutch, folks. Canada not out of this just yet. They have Megalar, they have self-destruct. And I think for Canada, they're probably thinking the only way we're going to win this is if we go to tiebreak at this point. Because it's going to be quite difficult. They'll have to win their pick. Then they'll have to break Korea's pick. And then win their own. So it's still possible for Canada, but...
Yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle for Canada. As I said, even if they take it to tiebreaker, I feel that the tiebreaker is Korean favored. They could have players on the side right as we speak practicing the tiebreaker. Both teams could. So if this goes to tiebreaker, we're going to see a battle of the century for bronze.
Canada are going to go for Chroma. Interesting from Canada. Because they banned Hidden 1.
Definitely a risky pick at this point in the match. If South Korea proves themselves to take the hidden point, then they will be in control for their match point.
Yeah, and then we would, in that case, I think we would probably see Korea go for that double time. So this is a very big risk from Canada here. Did not expect this. Not at all. Players practicing their roles.
What are these garbage Canadian rules?
Well, hopefully for Canada, that doesn't spell the results of this map. Now, interesting to note. Although Canada did play this against the US and they won, Fudgy King performed out of his mind on this. Remember the sleep training thing? He said he listened to the song in his sleep to remember the notes. And he did insanely well. To remind you of just how well he did, it was an FC at 98.99% accuracy. So basically a 99% FC. For Fudgy King, Janitor came through with a 4 miss at 98.5. And no Korean player FC'd this, but their scores were good in the 98%. So be watching Kunpaku and Fudgy King. Same rosters that they both used in their previous matches.
We did see Janitor earlier. Hidden Hard Rock FC, something he did not FC before.
Oh, Fudgy King.
So we could see him FC this.
Remember
and
this...
yes, as you noticed, Fudgy King found a miss there.
I remember this map, the really difficult part is here in the beginning, is one of the more difficult parts of the map. Oh, Janitor with a miss. Here we go. So Canada on the back foot. They're all going to go to work recovering the accuracy that they lost.
Now, if there is anywhere to miss, you do want to miss in the intro, but Fudgy King's accuracy is very low right now. Janitors is also not matching up to Korea.
Yeah, Canada are going to need some help from Korea. They need to see some misses from either Kompaku or Peaceful. Because right now the Koreans are killing it. A 99-2 for Peaceful and a 99-1 for Kompaku. Janitor will struggle yet again. Both Canadian players in the 97s, and this is not looking good for Canada.
The map is of a decent length. We have about 2 minutes of the map to go. Anything can happen, especially when you're playing with hidden. But currently, this is definitely South Korean favored. They hold a decent score gap.
Yeah, but Canada are fighting on that score bar right now, trying to pull it back. Accuracies aren't recovering on Canada's side, and Kompaku did find some 100s. It's Peaceful who's making the difference, though, with the 99-6. He's the one to keep an eye out for. Will we see any misses from South Korea coming into this final third of the map? Oh, Fudgy.
Well, Fudgy King's gonna find misses. We have about a minute left, finding more than one, too.
This is not looking good for Canada. Potentially nerves getting to these Canadian players. But the Koreans looking really solid. Into the final quarter. And Canada are going to need a meltdown from South Korea. Fudgy King struggling even further.
It's gonna widen the South Korean score gap to almost 100,000 points. I don't think there's enough map left for Canada to even come back unless South Korea just tanks.
And that is going to do it right there, folks. South Korea will go up off the break point 6-4. Match point. However, we look at the pool. It's not completely comfortable. Canada have some maps that they've done well on, but I think Korea are going to go for that double time. I just feel like that's the smart pick here.
Another double silver FC for Korea.
And the thing is, South Korea did not play that double time against Hong Kong. So I don't know how well they're feeling about it. Self-destruct. Something Canada are probably going to be a little comfortable with here. Megalara. I mean, still a difficult map, but as Gohigi said, the easiest map in the pool. Still hard, but one of the less difficult maps in the pool. And then you've got Niju, which Korea hasn't played in tournament. Canada did okay on it against the US, but it's really difficult, almost kind of a coin flip. It's a short 1 minute, 20-second double time map. Where do you go if you're Korea?
I feel like Korea is going to go with Niju. But here's the thing. If Korea picks a map and if it's a coin toss like Niju, like you said, and Canada takes it, then Canada will be in command for the very last pick of the match, and that'll bring it to tiebreaker, assuming they win. So this is an important pick for Korea. They could be picking their winning map, or be giving the chance for Canada to bring this to tiebreaker.
Yeah, it's a very important pick.
Also, chat, loving my toin costs.
Your toin costs and tack ink. This is the losers bracket semifinals. So the winner of this guaranteed. Oh wait, they're picking Hard Rock. That's the one.
This
I
is
didn't expect
not
them to
what I
pick.
expected.
They're picking the maps that we would least expect them to pick.
We're getting every pick backwards.
How?
I'm sure Nifty is celebrating in the background that his map got picked, as if he hasn't had enough maps in this cup already.
You a little salty there?
Just a tiny bit.
Well, this could be it right here, but Canada have got to be feeling somewhat good. A lot of players going to the bathroom, grabbing water. This is this is stressful if you're playing in this match right now.
This could be South Korea's winning point, or this could be the point that propels Canada to the tiebreaker.
Here's one thing I fear about South Korea right now, all right? They've never been to the top 3 in a Taiko World Cup before. They're 1 point away from making history and becoming the 6th country to ever achieve that. Let's hope their nerves don't get the best of them here. I don't know why they picked this. Now, they could just be insanely confident on this map. That is a possibility. But they know Canada have a decent Hard Rock lineup. But they played really well in this. Now, I realized why they picked this. I totally overlooked this. They did play this against Hong Kong. And you want to know why they're picking this? Double FC.
Ooh.
But it was
Might be it.
97.5 act for Kompaku and 96.69 for R18. So, after looking at it, it makes a little more sense. But against Canada, Canada are looking to return to the top 3 for the 3rd time. They've got 2 bronze medals. They would love a 3rd. Korea want their 1st. And it's going to come down to Hard Rock, so this is big. Korea are good on this map. Canada know they're decent on this map. But Canada also know that they can play this map quite well.
Rachel coming in on Canada's side. This is intense. Oh my god.
Wow. And this is the same roster that played. Now, although Canada did not even have a single FC, Jatter had 98.2 act with a 2 miss, and Rachel had a 96.25 act. Which is actually only like 20-30k off of South Korea's score. So it's really hard to judge who's gonna win this. Korea, you could say Korea have a slight advantage, but Canada on Hard Rock, never count them out.
This isn't any normal Hard Rock map either. This is Nifty SV Hard Rock map.
And here we go. Canada on their last leg. They need 3 in a row to claim the bronze, claim the top 3 spot. South Korea on the verge of making history for their country and claiming their first ever top 3 spot in a Taiko World Cup. But they've got to get 1 more point. Let's hope the Koreans' nerves won't get the better of them.
Well, for now, it seems they will be. Canada is holding a very slight lead on South Korea for now. This is a very long map, though. 4 minutes and 14 seconds long. Anything can happen here.
Oh, absolutely. And again, a 4-minute long map to add to the suspense. We still have quite a ways to go before we figure out who will be taking this point. Kompaku finds a couple 100s back to back. Both Canadian players in 99s, low 99s, and the Koreans a low 98 and a high 98 respectively. Means Canada lead barely. Neither team budging that much. 100's coming in from both sides. A few more on the Canadian side, narrowing that score gap a little. Ooh. 7,000 points. Oh, Rachel with a miss for Canada. But
it's gonna narrow that score bar. Gonna flicker to South Korea for a second here.
Accuracy. Rachel with a miss again, down to 95. 93. It keeps going down. And Canada, Kapaku does miss. But Rachel's down to 92% act.
Rachel finding more misses, 91%. Jan holding 98. R18 not doing so hot, but Rachel is only dropping.
South Korea are in a glorious position.
They are 2 minutes away, if they keep this up, from being guaranteed third place in the Taiko World Cup. There is still, with that said, 2 minutes of the map to go.
Yeah, not over yet. Final third of a lengthy map, but man, Canada are going to need a miracle and a half to get back into this one. They're going to need a complete implosion from the Korean team. And even though Johnny's doing well, keeping up the pace with his act, Rachel's going to have to be near flawless through the end of this. And Kompaku and R18 are going to have to just absolutely have a massive meltdown.
They're going to have to self-destruct.
And they've... Final quarter. Korea on the verge of history. They just have to avoid a choke. Rachel with a miss again. R18 will drop. But Canada need much more. They need Korea to give a lot more than that.
We're heading into the very final seconds of this.
Janitor will drop.
Up so high. I think this is Korea's point. R18 finding a miss, but it's not going to be enough. I think South Korea has claimed their guaranteed third place.
And South Korea looking for it. Coming to the end. They have finally done it. Ladies and gentlemen, pop open a bottle of soju because the Koreans are finally in the top 3 of the Taiko World Cup. They win 7-4, advance to the losers bracket final,
where they will go against the loser of Japan versus Taiwan. Canada has been knocked out of this tournament, officially placing them as 4th in the world. Canada put up a great fight throughout this entire tournament, defeating odds, beating the United States, defeating odds even tonight, and getting 4 points on South Korea. A very, very notable performance to Canada that should not be overlooked tonight.
South Korea finally will claim a spot on the podium in the Taiko World Cup. As you said, they will await the loser of our winners bracket final, which is the final match of the weekend between Japan and Taiwan. I'm sure both of those teams up in that winners bracket final looking at Korea going, really don't want to face them. But there you have it, folks. Finals week. 6 teams have been narrowed down to our podium, our top 3. And Japan and Taiwan will fight for a spot in the top 2 in the grand final. And the Taiko World Cup coming to a close just a week more after this. Well, Janitor, any closing thoughts on the match?
Well, I think first off, my name's not Janitor.
I know.
I don't know. I think Canada really played their heart out. I think they did a great job against South Korea. South Korea really proving to be a monster this year. And I really look forward to seeing how South Korea goes against either Japan or Taiwan. And I think that this year we've had matches that none of us could have predicted. I mean, you've seen how poor me and Dylan were trying to predict this match, and it just didn't work.
It's impossible, which is really different for Taiko, because a lot of people look at Taiko and think, we know who's going to make it to the end. But we've had an exciting tournament. Looking back in the semifinal stage, we had 3 tiebreakers. Like, look at that. That doesn't happen in Taiko. It's insane. Canada able to claw their way to 4th place after almost being defeated by Australia. A good finish for them. Well, incandescents, anything you would like to say to our lovely people watching?
You're all beautiful. I hope you have a great night or a great day, depending where you are in the world.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. Come back in 5 hours to catch the winner's bracket final between Japan and Taiwan. Schedules are on the wiki if you wish to view it. Well, guys, that's going to do it. South Korea claimed the final spot in the top 3 for the first time in their country's history. They will stand on the podium. They await to find out who their next week opponents will be. Stay tuned, guys. Come back for Japan versus Taiwan. For Incandescents, I'm Dolan. Saying goodbye. We'll see you next time.
So long.